The White House press secretary is trending today, and not for a good reason. It's what I would describe as a cringeworthy cover-up for Donald Trump's reckless and chaotic inner circle, and I have all the details for you next. What led me to this story is the trending page on X that showed me 3 topics that made me laugh because they perfectly summarize the state of the Trump Union. What the F is going on, White House press secretary, and moron. Perfect, right? So let's break it down and see what the F is going on with the moron's mouthpiece today, culminating in the embarrassing cover-up. Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt keeps proving she's the perfect match for Donald Trump. The worship vibe is high, and she's fully committed to the MAGA agenda. But she also has the impossible task of translating Trump's nonsense into something that sounds sane. The man lies, lacks focus, and switches stories depending on which way the wind is blowing. And today she tried to spin his tariff disaster word salad into a win. Good luck with that.
Can you explain the White House's evolution from this is not a negotiation on tariffs to countries should pitch us and start negotiations on tariffs?
Sure. As the president said yesterday, Jasmine, both things can be true at the same time. And it is a non-negotiable position that the United States has faced a national security and economic crisis because of the unfair trade practices by countries around the world. As for the president, I have maintained this position. The entire administration has always said that President Trump is willing to pick up the phone and talk. And the president met with his trade team this morning, and he directed them to have tailor-made trade deals with each and every country that calls up this administration.
So, these two things that contradict each other can be true at the same time? Okay. That is the perfect representation of Trump. But contradictions and kidding aside, that moment also perfectly represents the spirit of Trump. He wants countries and corporations to call and grovel. The art of the deal is really the art of bowing to the king. And here's more on that with regards to China, and then I'll have the cover-up.
You mentioned the 70 countries or so. I'm curious, though, under what conditions at this point would President Trump talk to President Xi about tariffs?
Look, I just spoke to the president about this, and he believes that China wants to make a deal with the United States. He believes China has to make a deal with the United States. It was a mistake for China to retaliate. The president, when America is punched, he punches back harder. That's why there will be 104% tariffs going into effect on China tonight at midnight. But the president believes that Xi and China want to make a deal. They just don't know how to get that started. And the president also wanted me to tell all of you that if China reaches out to make a deal, he'll be incredibly gracious, but he's going to do what's best for the American people.
So China has to call first?
The Chinese want to make a deal. They just don't know how to do it. But the president will be implementing these 104% tariffs on China tonight.
And now for the cover-up that I mentioned. A reporter pointed out the very public feud between Elon Musk, a capitalist who needs free trade, and Trump's advisor, Peter Navarro, the man who encouraged him to strangle the global market and bend it to his will. Watch as she oddly dismisses the train wreck that is happening inside the Trump train.
Quick follow-up. There's been some public sparring between Elon Musk and the president's trade advisor, Peter Navarro, on some of these tariffs. Musk actually referred to Navarro today as being, quote, dumber than a sack of bricks. Are you at all, or is the administration, the president, all concerned that this is maybe impacting the public's understanding of these tariffs? It might be messing with the message on it?
No, look, these are obviously two individuals who have very different views on trade and on tariffs. Boys will be boys, and we will let their public sparring continue. And you guys should all be very grateful that we have the most transparent administration in history. And I think it also speaks to the president's willingness to hear from all sides, that he has people at the highest levels of this government in this White House who have very diverse opinions on very diverse issues, but the president takes all opinions in mind, and then he makes the best decision based on the best interests of the American public.
This story is unfolding like a perfect storm of Trump dysfunction, with Press Secretary Leavitt caught in the middle, trying to cover up the chaos that is hiding in plain sight. Her job is to lie and deflect, and I think she does both of those things really well. But if defending the moron each day is what you signed up for, that is its own kind of what the F. As for the Musk-Navarro feud, there are now many billionaires speaking out against Trump's dismantling of the economy, and Musk just happens to be the richest of them all and the closest to Trump. Musk is basically shouting to anyone who will listen, "What the hell are we doing?" And Navarro is not having any of it because he serves the madman Trump, not the madman Musk. And then there's Trump. His approach to trade, especially tariffs, has been consistently reckless. He makes big threats, offers no clear plan, and expects the rest of the world, corporations and countries alike, to beg for his attention and mercy. That's not an economic policy. That's just him playing King Donald in his own mind, something that might be better described as a boy being a boy.